So it's that time again. It's record store day. Shit, 2022, and it's the 22nd of April. 15th anniversary, I think it is. And Taylor Swift is like this sort of president or something like that for the entire thing. It's a big day when we collectors go out at dawn to queue up and really hope that the record store that we queued up for have any of the titles that we have written down and put in on paper in our pockets. Or is it in fact just another day invented by the big corporates to squeeze out a little bit more of that hard-earned dime from us good working, hard-working citizens, and also making the shops turn against each other even more that they are today? Nah, I think the first one is definitely the pick, and you and me, we go out to support the shops because that's the important thing. Record store day, we go out and we support the shops. We don't care about the limited editions, we don't care about new vinyl, we don't care about those translucent splatter vomit colored 3 LP sets that we just crave for. It doesn't matter, it's all about shops. And on that note, if you like what you hear and what you see, you should subscribe to this channel to I don't know why, really. I have no idea. But there's a special place in hell for those who don't. So the list was released just a couple of days ago, and on first glance it's a fantastic list for us jazz fans. A fantastic year for jazz. A quick just run through, you see names like Mingus and Miles Davis, Albert Ayler, a box, we'll come back to that later on, but and Bill Evans. A fantastic set of jazz releases this year. But the question is, like every year, is it any good? Are the pressings any good? Who's putting them out there? How many quantities are there? And we'll check that out soon. But I want to start by saying, what records did I miss on this list? What records should I put in this video? What's your top 3 of this year's list? Record Store Day 2022. So here are my picks of the best records on Record Store Day 2022 from the list, and some turds also. So here we go. Cue music. If you follow my channel, you know that I'm a jazz and psyched and stuff like that. But on this list, I'm gonna put, I mean, that stuff obviously, but I'm gonna put some other records that may surprise you. But for me, it has some nostalgic value to it, like this. So this is Pearl Jam live on two legs, released in 1998, released in 2 LP set back in the day. But nowadays, if you want the European or the US version of this, you have to pay maybe $200-300 euros, whatever you want to call it, 200s money. So they are releasing this in big quantities, like 20,000 are pressed, so it's not Record Store Day exclusive, I don't think so anyway. And it's going to be released on 2 LP set, crystal clear vinyl. And I can still remember when I went into the store and bought the CD back in the day when it was released. It was a great day. I was just getting into the sort of Seattle sound, and Pearl Jam was one of the big names besides Nirvana. So yeah, don't know if I'll get it, but if I don't, I know that I'm gonna regret not getting it. The next one is this one. This is also from 92, 93, so a 90s record. This is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Live Seeds. So a pretty early Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds record. And it has a pretty nice sort of track listing. If you like the early Nick Cave. I'm more a fan of his later stuff. I think that the older Nick Cave becomes, the more it suits me. I don't know if I grow old with him. It's released on two LP set on red vinyl, and I think that the D side is going to be etched, so it's going to be pretty cool to see pictures of what they etched it with. So the next one is fairly, I think that this could fall on some people's turd list, but it's actually Chicago's live record, the first one from Carnegie Hall, 1971. It was released back in 1971 as a box set, and it's a pretty nice box set. It's easy to get. The problem with it is that the sound quality from all the pressings, the recording quality is so damn bad that it's almost unlistenable. This time it's a 3 LP set. It's put out by Rhino and in pretty good quantity, so I don't think that you will miss out if you want this. But my hope, and I have to confirm this before I presumably get it, is the recording quality or the mastering quality or whatever, if they did a remaster of this. Because if they did that, if they could like fish out the really good sound quality of this, I'm definitely gonna consider getting it, because I have the original up here, and Chicago's first like 4 records is really good, especially the first 2 is really good, and they sort of did the live stuff, the live LP, and then just fell into oblivion after that, in my opinion. But 3 LP set, hopefully Rhino did the mastering great this time, so we get a good sounding live take of this Chicago record. The next one that I think is interesting is this one. This is The Doors with LA Woman Sessions. So you get a 4 LP set of outtakes from what I consider their best record. LA Woman is my favorite of the Doors records. It's the one that I put on the most often, and I never get tired of it. And to have 2.5 hours of outtakes of that masterpiece of a record should be really interesting to sink your teeth in and really dissect. And this is also going to be released in quite big quantity, so 11,000 is going to be pressed. So I don't think, once again, that you have to worry about getting this. It's going to be there, I think, sometime after Record Store Day. The next one is actually 2 records from Bill Evans, and Bill Evans has, or the Bill Evans Family Trust has put out his stuff on all Record Store Days. I don't know if for 15 years, but it seems like that anyway. And I actually haven't bought anyone because no one of them have sparked my interest, but I want to lift it up here on the list, because I think that for all you jazz heads, especially Bill Evans fans, I think you don't want to miss out on this. It's just 4,000 pressed on each record. Each record is a 2 LP set, and both of them, if I read correctly, was recorded in 1975. So I don't have that much information about or knowledge about Bill Evans, so I don't know if 1979 was a big year for him, if he played any good. I've only heard the early stuff with Bill Evans. With that being said, it's mastered by Bernie Grundman. It's going to be sounding like a perfect record, really. So and I bet if you have the other ones that was released the other years, you know what to expect. So if you're that sort of completist and or a Bill Evans fan, this is, I guess, a must for you. I don't think that I'll get it, but I want to have it on the list. Okay, so the next one, this is what I live for, but I'm not going to get this because I want the original press of this. But this is Robert Lester Folsom. I have to read from the computer because it's so obscure that I didn't even remember the title of the article. This, on paper at least, sounds like the perfect sort of Acid Archives psychedelic folk or loner folk or acid folk record. He went in the studio in 1974, I think, or 74. He recorded this, and if you want the original press, it's a pretty expensive record. They are releasing this exclusively on Record Store Day. Only 1,200 pressed, so you have to be pretty lucky or fast to get a hold of a copy of this. The only thing that I want to say is this is not. It may be exclusive, but it has been reissued twice since the original press. One's back in, I think, if it was late 90s or early 2000s, and one in 2010. So they are out there. You can get it on vinyl, on reissue. How they sound, I have no idea. I don't know. But I want to mention that it's not unattainable. You could get this on Record Store Day or buy it one of the other reissues. Okay, so this is great. I'm gonna try to get this. This is Mingus. This is a unissued or never before heard live take from Ronnie Scott's in London. It was recorded in London, as I said, in 1972, and it's going to be pressed in 3,000 copies, RSD exclusive. So you have to really, again, be lucky or fast to get this, I think, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell out. 3 LP set, mastered by Bernie Grundman. It's gonna sound fantastic, and it's a record that we haven't heard from Mingus in 1979. No, sorry, 1972. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a fantastic record. Live at Ronnie Scott's, Bernie Grundman. It ticks off everything of the jazz list, really. So definitely one I'm gonna try to get my hands on. And the next one is Joni Mitchell's sort of archive series. I don't know if she is doing some sort of Neil Young thing here where she puts out her archive series, but this is called Blue Highlights. It's going to be pressed in 9,000 copies, and it's the sort of outtakes and retakes and demos and stuff like that, if I read correctly, of the famous, world famous record Blue. So this is, in my opinion, if you're going for anything by Joni Mitchell when it comes to outtakes and stuff like that, I guess that it's this one. And 9,000, I don't think that this is going to be a problem getting your hands on. I think that it's going to be there after Record Store Day has, like, the dust has settled. So if you want to check it out, I think this is, if you are a Joni Mitchell fan, I think that this is the record for you. And the next one on the list, and this is because I love this artist. I have no idea how this sounds, but this is Nico, live at the Hacienda, 1983. It's going to be pressed in 2,000 copies on purple vinyl. And I don't think that Nico is... she's not trending right now. I don't think so. So I don't think that people will rush to the stores to get this specific piece. And I don't think that it will even sell out that quickly. But don't take my word for it. If you want it, go grab it. But I'm not going to grab it the first day. I'm going to see when the dust settles if there are still left. And maybe, hopefully, I have the opportunity to listen to it before I buy it. But, I mean, Nico, 1983, just a handful of years before she died, tragically. And her voice is what her voice is. It almost just got better with the years because it just suits the music. So, yeah, I'm a fan of Nico. What can I say? This next one is a must-have for jazz fans. Like a must-have. We were so many that complained and bitched and argued when we missed out on Quiet Kenny, and here it is. Here's Art Pepper with Meet the Rhythm Section. This is the craft record of the year or something like that. Pressed in 6,000 copies. Quiet Kenny was pressed in 5,000 if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe less, 2,000. Fuck it. And it's also mastered by Bernie Grundman from the original tapes. If it's even near the Quiet Kenny by Kenny Dorham, that record, it's going to be a blast. So do yourself a favor. If you're a jazz fan, this is the one to look for. Get it. And this one, I think this is the highlight for me. Hopefully I can get my hands on it, but it's gonna be hard. This is Albert Ayler's Revelations from late 60s, I think. One of the last recordings, if I read correctly. 5 LP set. So I don't know if it's a box set, but I read somewhere that it's released on one gatefold and one trifold. Yeah, and it's only going to be pressed in 600 copies. And this is mastered by Kevin Gray, the one and only Kevin Gray, who's giving us fantastic masters of the Blue Note catalog right now. So the Classic Series, 80 Series, and Tone Poets. The same man is doing this 5 LP Albert Idler set. It's going to be awesome to listen to that if I have the opportunity. But 600 pressed, I think that it's going to be a hard quest to get that, and the price is going to be like whew. So maybe that will scare some off and be the only thing that stands between me and the record, that no one buys it because it's too expensive and I'm too stupid to not. Another Kevin Gray mastered record is this one. This is Chet Baker live in Paris. It's the radio sessions from 1983. And as I said, mastered by Kevin Gray, we know it's going to sound amazing. So the question is, because I'm not I'm not so knowledgeable when it comes to Chet Baker. I know that he was very much under the weather, or heroin, maybe that he was under the needle back in 1983, my year. And I don't know how he was as a musician. I read that he has some great backup, a great backup band behind him, and it's said that he's singing on some of the songs. I don't know. Maybe this is interesting, but is it enough to really go after it? I don't know. I don't know. I think I have to listen to it first before I decide on anything. But if you're a Chet Baker fan, I guess that this is a no-brainer. 1983. I mean, old Chet Baker, gravelly voice. I guess great sort of old tone on the trumpet, and Kevin Gray mastering it. It's gonna sound like nothing else, I guess. And last but not least, this is my pick for this year's Record Store Day list. This is the Bobby Hamilton Quintet Unlimited, and the title is Dream Queen. I've only seen this in the passing because it's a rare ass record, and I noticed the cover artwork because I've seen that in magazines and books and stuff like that, and people on Instagram showing a reissue or CD or something off. I don't know. I don't think it's the original pressings that I've seen. Maybe one or two, but so this is going to be pressed in 1,000 copies. So if you want this, you have to be fast or have be lucky or whatever, because the original press of this from 1972 was only pressed in like 500 copies, and it's insanely hard to get your hands on today. I haven't looked it up on Discogs or anything, so I don't know the exact like how much it costs now. I should have done that, but I haven't looked it up. But I think it's not an easy record to get your hands on. That's one thing. The other thing is that it's mastered by Bernie Grundman. Only 1,000 copies, obscure jazz record, and Bernie Grundman is remastering it. It's, I don't know. I can't really figure out the math on this one. They bother to let the master it in so low quantities. But yeah, the lucky few who gets a copy, I guess, will be very pleased. So yeah, that's it. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 real turds on this Record Store Day list this year, and the first one is this one, Rick Astley. I mean, come on, whatever you need, whenever you need somebody. It's a 35th anniversary edition. They are going to press it in 1,800 copies. Yeah, there's nothing special about it at all. Like, I don't get it. If you go to Discogs and you search for the original press from this 80s shit, in my opinion, we are all, I mean, I'm sorry if you like it, I don't. That's just, there's stuff that I like that you don't like, so it's, but okay. But Rick Astley, do we really need this record? I mean, there were 138 for sale of the original European press today, right now. The median on this one, the original press, is €5, and it has sold for as low as €1. And the top sale, like the most expensive version of this, the original press, the European press, is or was €14. That's the highest it's been sold for on Discogs. You could get it for 50 cents in pretty good condition on Discogs, and they bother to, I mean, block and clog up the pressing plants to get a 35th anniversary of what? I mean, come on. Shit, you can find that Rick Astley record in any thrift store in any country. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Next one is American History. History. I don't know. I never listened to it, but I've seen it so many times in the thrift stores and in record stores. They can't even sell the original pressings. What were they thinking of doing a reissue of this? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And you also have Nick Lowe's Wireless World. Looks like this. It's a fantastic record. I love this. This is a pop record, just right up my alley. But they would really need a reissue of this. Like, I didn't see anything fancy-pancy, no super mastering. You can get the original press in perfect condition for like €10, something like that, because it sold like grass back in the day. People, even back in the day, knew that this was a good record, so they bought it. People bought the Rick Astley record also, but they were the ones who did that was just stupid, you know. And the last one is Ringo Starr's the fourth Ringo Starr record. I mean, come on. Again, you can find this for €1 in any thrift store. I mean, people throw this record after people who goes into the store, and they still don't want to get it. I mean, I think that they could pay people to take care of this record, and still wouldn't take it home with them. And again, they are clogging up the pressing plants to do a reissue of Ringo Starr's fourth record. I don't get it. So on this positive note, I leave you. As I said before, please subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, what's your favorite releases of this year's list? Please comment, because I want to know. I want my list to be even bigger than than the one I already have. So yeah. And until next time, see you in my next video. Bye.